Hi everyone, welcome aboard. This is Grant Fitch and this is my MARP presentation for EDTC 515 at Azusa Pacific University. My MARP presentation is going to be on quizzes, and I have a few goals for this presentation. First, we need to find out, and this is kind of hard to say, what is quizzes? And the next one are some of the educational purposes, or why are we using it? I mean, why not use Kahoot or just a paper and pencil assessment tool? Why not use those? And we're actually going to create a quizzes through this presentation. So the presentation's kind of be a tutorial based presentation where I'll actually be showing you how to create a quiz, what website to go to, how to input things, and what it actually looks like. So at the very end, you'll be able to see exactly what quizzes is. First and foremost, we have to find out what is quizzes. And quizzes is a free, fun, interactive classroom activity. And the only thing you need is a device and access to the internet. And thinking about this on a deeper level, specifically, it's an educational assessment tool. So quizzes is an online quiz system where you create quizzes with questions in them, and they have 4 possible answers. And what's really good about quizzes is that you can jumble the questions so that the kids aren't answering the same questions at their desks. So that way we can really see if the kids know what they know. There are many educational purposes to using quizzes in the classroom. You could use it as a diagnostic assessment to see what kids know before you introduce a new topic or maybe start a unit. I used it the other day when we started a unit on plate tectonics. I wanted to see what the students knew about that specific topic. You can use it as a formative assessment to where maybe halfway through the unit you can see, have the kids been understanding the material that I've been teaching them, and this will be a good tool to use for that. You can also use it as a summative assessment at the end of a unit, basically using it as a test, because as we'll see later on in the presentation, it has really good results that you can get from the tool that we'll do. And also, you can assign a quiz as homework for the kids, and you can integrate that in whatever interface your school district uses, or you could embed it into Google Classroom, which is what I use, and it's very simple. One of the other big educational purposes for using quizzes in the classroom is it causes a gamification of the classroom. So everything becomes a learning game for the kids. That increases fun in the classroom. The kids are actually excited to come to class and to learn about something. They get to compete with one another, which is good. Healthy competition, in my opinion, is always good for students. And lastly, memes. Every time you get a correct answer using quizzes, it shows you a meme and encourages you. Every time you get an incorrect answer, it encourages you with an incorrect meme. So the kids get that, pop culture, social media type of encouragement while they're learning about the topics you want them to learn about. So before we get started actually making a quiz, there's a couple things we have to discuss. Number one is, do we have devices for the students to use? So for my classroom, we have Chromebooks that each student can use. You could also use it on an iPad or even on an iPhone. Some of the students prefer to use it on the iPhone because they're just familiar with using and manipulating their devices in their hands. And some of the questions that we're going to find the answers to here: how to make a quiz. Is it really hard to make a quiz on quizzes? No, but we'll get there in just a moment. Does it have to be your content? Is it really hard to embed your content into a quiz? Or can I use somebody else's already made quiz? And what are some of the avatars that you can use? And what about if somebody puts in like a a bad name on their login. Can we do anything about that? And we're going to discuss those in just a moment. Okay, so now that we've talked about what a quiz is and some of the educational purposes behind it, let's get in and actually make a quiz. So I'm on right now on the quizzes website, and there's 3 boxes here that we can choose from: log in, sign up, or join a game. We're going to go and log in. So this is my home page here, and what we're going to do is I'm going to click on create your own quiz. We get to name the quiz. How about tutorial? Okay, so this is where you're going to spend the most of your time when you create a quizzes. Here you can type a question like, who is the best quarterback of all time? And over here you can put your options. You can say Tom Brady. You can say Dan Marino. You can say Matt Castle. Or you can say Brett Favre. And what you do is you click this little box, and that shows you the correct one. I chose that Brett Favre was the best quarterback of all time because I think he is. When you're finished, you can click on New Question, and you can make any other question you want. What is a convergent boundary? Okay, so you can do it that way. You can just keep creating questions, or what you can do is you can search for questions that people have already submitted. So you can type in, let's say, plate tectonics. And here's 15 questions. Look at that. And then you just add the ones to your quiz that you want, and that becomes yours. And when you're done, you click Finish. So that's it for how to create a quiz. There's a lot of settings that you can choose from when you create them, but that's basic how-to. Now that we've made our quiz, we're going to proceed to the next step, which is displaying your quiz code and creating your settings. So this is really customizable here. So you can scroll down and you can actually turn on to jumble the questions. So all the students are going to be answering different questions. And you can jumble the answers, so you can put them, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, you can have the 4th choice as the first choice on the quiz. You can jumble those. You can show the answers to the students. You can show a quiz review at the end, which I always do because then it's a good way to discuss what the kids knew and what they needed remediation on. Go down here, you can show the leaderboard. I always do that because the kids get really fired up when they see that they're in first place and so on and so forth. The question timer. This one's hard because if you put a question timer on there and you're using this as an actual formative, formal assessment, then it might not be fair to put a 30-second timer on there. And I always show memes because, well, memes are funny and the kids love them. So you click proceed here, and it displays a code. Okay? So this gives you the exact website to go to. This is the code that the students put in on their devices, which I will put in on one of my devices to show how this works. Alright, and it shows my name here. Now if a kid has a bad name or if it's inappropriate, all you do is just click that X and they go away and they have to re-sign in. So that's a really good tool for the kids that think they're funny. Okay, so from here you can press Start Game. Quizzes will look like from a student's perspective. They'll go to the website and they'll punch in the code that you put in. They'll press Proceed. And you'll get a little avatar. I have no idea what that Giving a non-living object human characteristics. Here we go. Personification. So the students will do this until the end of the quiz, and after that it'll give you the quiz results. So after your students are done taking their quiz, you can click on the report section on the left and you can see exactly what student got the questions correct and which ones they got wrong. So this was a diagnostic exam, so I wasn't really too concerned with who got what right or how many wrong or so on and so forth. The big thing about quizzes is using the gamification of the classroom. So all learning becomes a game. And especially for some of my kids in special ed, they love playing games because for them, they're not having to read, which is something they hate, or do math, which is something they hate. They can actually play games and have fun. So I'm trying to play games and have fun and have them learn things and learn, the curriculum from the standards. So that's really good because that creates a fun learning environment for the students. They get really excited to come to class. And it has other educational purposes. Summative assessment, formative assessment, diagnostic assessment I use a lot to try to see what the kids know before they move on to the next lesson. One of the big things is the already made quizzes. This saves me so much time. When I use a quiz, I just search to see if there's another quiz that somebody else has made, and that really saves me a lot of time because then I can just add them to my quiz and then I can have it for the next year. Lastly, quick and easy data results. You can see exactly how kids did, how each kid did, how they did on certain questions, and it makes grading very easy. So that's all I got. Thank you for watching my presentation and have a great day.